His name was Nola. He pitched a shutout. Phillies for 1-4-0. They completed the sweep. What's going on, everybody? No, I don't listen to Barry Manilow on the regular, but I can't help it. What song enters my mind when I am experiencing such glee, such joy? Whenever I watch my Philadelphia sports teams win their games and I see a guy like Aaron Nola absolutely dominate. Now, in case you missed it, I have an announcement I have to make. Thanks to John Kruk referring to Aaron Nola as the crafty Cajun, I will only be referring to Aaron Nola as the crafty Cajun because two reasons. One, I just think it's an awesome name. Guy being from down Louisiana, he's a little Cajun. And I also just love the idea that we're using the word crafty for a right-handed pitcher, where if there's ever been an injustice in the sport of baseball, it's that we have only used the word crafty to describe left-handers. That's the only way we've done it. Crafty the crafty lefty. Jamie Murray, the crafty lefty is on the hill today. It's only used for left-handed, but now we have a righty. Finally, justice has been served. We have a right-handed pitcher that is now being referred to as crafty, and that's the crafty Cajun, Aaron Nola. And when you think about it, he doesn't have like amazing stuff. He doesn't have like a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. He's not, tickling 100 when it comes to his fastball. So like crafty applies to him. What took us so long? Thank you, John Kruk. The crafty Cajun went the complete game, 11 strikeouts last night, 0 walks last night, 5 hits last night as the Phillies went on for the 4-0 victory, completing the sweep. Aaron Nola's numbers, look at this. Our friend Ryan Spader put these numbers together. Ryan was on the show about a year ago or so, but he put these numbers together. Check this out. Most recent Phillies pitchers with 10 or more strikeouts and 0 walks in a complete game shutout. Aaron Nola did it last night. Aaron Nola did it in April of 2021. He did it again also on September 11th of 2020. That's 3 straight seasons, folks, for those scoring at home. Vince Velasquez in 2016. I'm going to go ahead and assume, was that the 16 strikeout game? I'm going to assume it was because I don't think he had a better start than that. And then Roy Halladay in 2010, in May of 2010, and this is where it starts to get a little weird. John Lieber. I forgot John Lieber existed. But he did. He exists. To 2007, he had the same thing, 10 plus strikeouts, 0 walks in the complete game shutout. And then you see Curt Schilling there as well. It was the perfect representation of pulling the string. Aaron Nola was just pulling the string last night on top of his game in last night's ball game. It was the type of thing where even if he got himself into a little bit of a jam, a little bit of trouble, it was like he's keeping guys off balance. These guys don't know what's coming next. And I was like, JT Realmuto's calling himself a hell of a game. Wait, no, that's our boy Garrett Stubbs behind the plate. It was unreal watching his performance last night. And that's the guy who, if you look at his last couple of games, not the greatest thing in the world when it comes to how he had been pitching coming out of that Mets game. But everything else had been pretty much kosher for one of the Phillies aces. He had an opportunity in Atlanta where he went 8 1/3, couldn't finish the game. He had an opportunity a couple of weeks ago where he went 8 1/3 in Miami and unfortunately couldn't finish it off. But this time around, he was able to finish it off. And he deserved this type of game. To see him get back on the same page, see him bounce back from a bad start against the Mets, flat out. Yes, best team in the division, best team in the National League, one of the best teams in baseball, absolutely. But to see him bounce back like this is what playing the Reds is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a get-right game. And you know what the Phillies did with this series? They made it a get-right series against the Reds. Now they just got to keep it going, have it continue against the Pittsburgh Pirates. But Nola last night on his start, this is what he had to say to the Phillies broadcast crew.
Finally, man. I think 2 times this year. 2 times this year. Oh, that feels good. 2 times this year. Man, 9th inning, couldn't finish it. I think 1 out or 2 outs in the 9th, but it feels good. Thompson gave me 105 pitches, so let those two guys on, and I got those 2 big strikeouts, and then Keno hit that one back to me. So it worked out good.
I'd say there we go. Now we're doing a show. Aaron, that was on me, folks. Aaron Nola got the. You see, you got the water from Bryce and Stott. I don't know how long that's been going on. I just noticed it the other day, but yesterday I just noticed it. Whatever, that's fine. But you could tell it was on his mind. A lot of times, if you are asking an athlete, and I find this interesting, if you're asking an athlete a question about not being able to finish off other games in the past, a lot of times the answer is, I'm one pitch at a time, I'm one game at a time. That's kind of how I operate. I'm not thinking about what goes on in the past. I'm thinking about that night. And you know what? I'm sure in the moment that's true, but Nola lets you in there behind the curtain there for a second and go, oh no, that start against the Marlins, that bothered me. That start against the Braves, that bothered me. It was good to finish it off finally and be in there for that final out. It came close where he almost wasn't, but they stayed the course and they were able to get out of that inning. Now, as far as run support goes, so Aaron Nola just absolutely blew me away last night, and as he blew away the Cincinnati Reds. On an offensive standpoint for the Phils last night, Kyle Schwarber, his 451-foot home run to dead center field off the batter's eye, as they say, those are majestic home runs. Those are pristine, immaculate home runs. The only ones that top those, and you might say it's because it's farther, are the ones where the ball goes over the batter's eye, and there's only been maybe a handful of those. And I know Ryan Howard had a couple of those that did in dead center field that goes into Ashburn Alley. Those are like, what the hell? Right after that, you see the ones that go in the way upper deck. Ryan Howard put it up there once down the right field line. Barry Bonds put one up there one time as well over the McDonald's sign, if you remember. Like, that was unbelievable. I remember actually Brett Meyer's reaction to Ryan Howard's one that went up there. Those are the majestic home runs. But when Kyle Schwarber connected with that changeup, 89-mile-per-hour changeup, low in the zone, he knew before the bat even left his shoulder that ball was going out. Like, I know they always say about contact, his swing and the rhythm to it, just jumping right out on that pitch, he just admired it from get-go. Bounces off the ivy and the brick wall in center field. He rounds the bases. Phillies up 1-0. Then, as this game continued last night, you see in the 5th inning, Garrett Stubbs steps to the plate, and this guy is such a ball player. And I know he's been on the show, and he's a friend of the show, Garrett Stubbs. He is the definition of a ball player. Hey, go out there and fill the shoes of a guy that a lot of people refer to as the best catcher in baseball. And if it's not this year, it's every other year. Best catcher in baseball. Best catcher in baseball. Garrett Stubbs is like, okay, cool, I'll go do that. And he does it phenomenally well. And he does whatever the team needs him to do. And that 5th inning last night was a perfect example. He comes out, he gets the bunt single. He's on first. He legs it out to get to third. So now you got runners at first and third on the Zimmer single. He legs it out to stretch and get to third base. Now he's standing on third base. Sosa steps to the plate. He hits a single. Somehow, all right, Garrett Stubbs scores on that play, which was that was the sacrifice fly by Sosa. Sosa hits sacrifice fly, and Garrett Stubbs able to score. You manufacture a run because Garrett Stubbs played small ball to the nth degree. Bunt single, stretched it by being able to get to third on that play, and then scores on that sacrifice. This guy is just an absolute ball player. He'll steal bases for you. He throws guys out. He hits home runs. He gets walk-off home runs against the Marlins. Garrett Stubbs does it all. Then, later in the ballgame in the 7th inning is that single I talked about from good old Eddie Sosa, all right? Edmundo Sosa. He comes up to the plate, and guys like Garrett Stubbs are off the radar guys that have helped you throughout this year. I think we talk about it. We almost mention it every show now. Those are the guys that are off the radar that help you, whether it's going to be Stott, whether it's going to be Nick Maton, whether it's going to be Garrett Stubbs. Well, let's even go further away from the idea of anybody can help this team win. And let's talk about Dusty Wathan for a second, the third base coach of the Philadelphia Phillies. I believe that Rob Thompson should be the manager of the year in the National League. I don't even think it's remotely close anywhere else. And then after they do that, they should invent a third base coach of the year award. And that should go to Dusty Wathan. And right out of the gate, they should just name the Dusty Wathan Award. And then we would all go home with that hardware for Dusty Wathan because he deserves it. This guy, if you remember, won a game for the Phillies in Washington where he simply knew the rules to the game and called out the Washington Nationals on it. They ended up winning a game on this play. I believe that was the extra inning game. He's had a great series just alone in this Red series and topped it off with this play last night, where you see in that seventh inning, you see Zimmer slide into second base on this single from Eddie Sosa, gets up. Wathan notices that they're just lollygagging with the ball in the outfield. He starts waving Zimmer home, and he already had a run across the plate. Instead of it being 3-0 after that inning, they made it 4-0 after that inning, and that is exactly what you wanted to do to give as much run support to a guy like Aaron Nola as possible. So he knew that every pitch didn't have to be perfect. That wasn't in the back of his mind. His offense, his bats had his back last night. Dusty Wathan is a fine reason for why that fourth run crossed the plate. A great read on last night's game. A great read on last night's game. I'm very impressed. The man's been an absolute wizard. I said so on old social media last night. So you can feel good about the Phillies. Now, I had joked on social media. We had all seen the Dave Spinero thing where he's holding back one of the security guys from the shot that he was doing on the sidelines during the Browns game. I had joked about all our good vibes for the Phillies were stopped by the New York Mets. This was a series to get those good vibes up and running again. And that's exactly what the Phillies did. That's what they needed to do. Keep it going against the Pirates. Now, the Phillies are right here in the wild card right now. As for the people in the podcast, I'm showing the wild card standings. Braves, of course, 10 up. Phillies 2.5 games up. San Diego Padres occupying that third and final wild card spot with the Milwaukee Brewers a 1.5 out. San Francisco Giants 5.5 games out of a wild card spot. If only the Phillies were going to add, I don't know, the reigning NL MVP to this already potent lineup, because that's what's going to happen tonight. Jim Salisbury, NBC Sports Philadelphia, breaking the news that Bryce Harper will be returning to the Phillies lineup tonight after his rehab assignment in Lehigh Valley. I sight for sore eyes. The Phillies have 15 games over 500 now. 15 games over 500. They're now 12 games over 500 without Bryce Harper. This team's only going to get better because of it. We talked yesterday. April asked a great question in the chat talking about, or made a statement. She made a good point about the Superman complex. About guys, Superman's here now, so we don't need to save Lois Lane. He's got it. No. How about everybody saves Lois Lane? That's how it feels. Get Bryce Harper back. Hey, don't stop being superheroes, everybody. This could be like the Marvel Universe coming together. That's the nerdiest thing I think I've ever said, and that's saying something. The Marvel Universe coming together. And Thanos is coming here. And Thanos is Mets. Thanos is the Mets. And the Phillies need to come together, and they need everybody. Even Ant-Man. Bring Ant-Man and his charm, Paul Rudd. Ant-Man is Garrett Stubbs, as far as I'm concerned, on this team. Just bring everybody. And that's how they'll eventually, if they ever face the Mets in the playoffs, that's how they'll beat the Mets. Let's do that. But Bryce Harper coming back is only going to help this ball club because I think the chemistry, I think the leadership, and most importantly, I think the manager in Rob Thompson are all the perfect people to have in the perfect spot for someone like Bryce Harper to come back, and nobody just rely on Bryce to get the job done. They can rely on everybody else. This was a nice little test for everyone. This is a nice little test for a guy like Bryson Stott to come into his own. This is a nice little test for a guy like Alec Boehm to come into his own. This is a nice little test. As of recently, at a 14-game hitting streak, he went 0-4 last night. 0-4, I believe it was, for Nick Castellanos. 0-4 last night. For him to come into his own a little bit, got his average up to 266, which is nice. This was a nice little stretch here for the Phillies to go 52 games now without Bryce Harper and finish that run 12 games over 500 in those games without Bryce Harper. All we ask, and I don't think it's asking too much, is we just to keep it going a little bit. Keep it going a little bit longer. Solidify that spot. I have referenced before, we are now August 26th. We're in a situation right now with this Phillies team where we need to make sure, they need to make sure that they go into September looking to change course from what they have done in September over the years. Over the last 9 seasons, they've had just one over 500 September. This is the team that will break that trend and start a new trend of September's being pretty awesome. One down note for the Phils, Zack Wheeler injured on the 15-day IL. Hopefully that's all he'll need before he comes back to the Phillies and the rotation. Before we move on, I'm sorry. Actually, we are moving on. Let's jump into the Eagles here for a second because they had a weird day yesterday. Stomach bug was going around, apparently, a little food poisoning maybe with the Miami Dolphins. So their joint practice got canceled. I saw Jeff McClain tweet that. Then I saw Mike Garafalo tweet that from the NFL Network. And then I saw Jeff McClain tweet, it's going to be an inter-team scrimmage or practice. And I was like, oh, so it's practice. Like, I understand it's supposed to be a joint practice. I think just practice. It's just regular practice. But they practiced yesterday just amongst themselves, and everything was fine. Unfortunately, they can't determine if they won or lost because they didn't play anybody else, unfortunately. But some more light was shown on the Eagles' joint practice that apparently they lost 2 days ago now to the Miami Dolphins. It was the first loss, and I know we're all still getting over it. I'm sorry I brought it up. I know it's very emotional for a lot of people. But Nick Sirianni said something yesterday that blew my mind. And it just goes back to, wow, we are really making a lot of practice these days. We're making a lot of it. Practice isn't just practice anymore. You can actually win it. There's W's and L's in practice. And I know there's always been in terms of position battles, but like I never thought like overall, oh, we lost today. Oh, we won today. Oh, we lost. Oh, we killed him today. Oh, we were terrible today. I never really thought about that. But apparently it's a big deal. So yesterday, Nick Sirianni was addressing the media, and he was asked about practice in general. What stuck out to you about practice yesterday? This is 2 days ago now. The practice they lost to the Miami Dolphins. And while Nick Sirianni was addressing the media, Nick Sirianni said, oh, you know what really stuck out to me? Our third down efficiency, how aggressive our guys were, how our team has a bit of an edge to them. And you know what? Jalen Hurts. And this is what he said after all that about Jalen Hurts.
To me, Jalen's practice yesterday was the best practice he's had as an Eagle. That since I've been here, I can't speak for the year before I got here. What he was doing with the football and being able to go through reads and progressions that fast and getting the ball to where it needed to go, I thought was unbelievable. There was a play on third down. We're running some sort of slant to AJ. They took it away by coverage, and boom, it was 3rd and 5, and then he checks it down quickly to the tight end, to Jack Stoll over the ball. He did the same thing on another slant to AJ when he went up top to Devontae. I'm not sure on all the times I've ever been a part of that play, I've never seen the ball go there, and Jalen found it and figured out how to get it there. I just thought, like, it was just happening. Everything was happening so quick for him. Not quick for him. Actually, it seemed like everything had slowed down for him, and he was getting the ball out on time. And I just thought I thought he was, at the top of his game yesterday, and that's a great development for us.
Don't get me wrong for a second. Those are all the things that I want to hear about Jalen Hurts. Those are everything I want to hear. The best practice in his time as the Philadelphia Eagles head coach, that was Jalen Hurts' best practice. It's a shame by all accounts they lost that practice. However, just individual play, that's great. I can't help it. We had something every time I hear it, I think of Allen Iverson. because they think of how ridiculous this is. Like, I'm glad they've had good practice and good practice. You know, practice makes perfect, and perfect practice makes perfect play, and whatever. I don't know, cliche you want to throw at it, but I'm still just like, it's practice. If you would have taken this video and showed it to someone even 10 years ago, they would have just started laughing. If you would have taken this video even 10 years ago and showed it to somebody about talking about winning joint practices, they would have guffawed. Hey, you know what? They're on the same page. Jalen Hurts is showing signs of improvement. He also did respond to what his coach had to say when he was teed up for it. They asked him about, hey, Nick Sirianni said yesterday was your best practice ever as Philadelphia Eagle. What do you make of it? And here's what he said.
He's looking at it in terms of me doing my job, and that's what I strive to do every day. Go out there and do my job and just be consistent. I think yesterday I was very consistent. So we're just chasing growth. Like I said, chasing growth every day. One thing I think y'all understand is nobody has a higher standard for myself than me. So I'm never going to ride waves. I'm never going to get too high or low. I'm just going to stay consistent in my approach, my work ethic, and attack every day individually.
Good for you. Good for you. That's all you can do. Do your job every single day, as I've heard the rent is due every single day. So keep that coming. Jalen Hurts, as now I will be rooting for you in practice. There's a couple more nuggets I want to get to from yesterday that did jump out to me. The overall improvement of Jalen Hurts has been a bit of a talking point, to say the least, throughout training camp. And if you're following the writers out there, I know Jimmy Kempski does a great job of tracking the stock each and every day. And on more days than not, vast majority of days, Jalen Hurts' stock has been up throughout these practices, joint practices, individual intra-team practices. The stock has been up. But one of the things I want to hear about is decision-making from Jalen Hurts. I want to hear about accuracy from Jalen Hurts. I want to hear what he has improved upon. So quite frankly, point blank, Nick Sirianni was asked just that. What has Jalen Hurts improved upon specifically this year? And this is what Nick Sirianni said.
Yeah, shoot, a lot of different things. I think he's seeing the field really well. I think he's seeing he's building that memory bank of plays versus different coverages and knowing where to go with the football from that. So I just think his decision making process is just continuing to get better, which is common among quarterbacks that are on it and that are getting better. So I just think his decision making is happening fast. It's happening quickly. And he just keeps getting better at that.
Let me think of LaShawn McCoy's comments. And if you haven't seen LaShawn McCoy's comments, he was on ESPN 2 days ago, and he was asked about whether or not the Eagles are the team to be in the NFC East. And the Eagles, I think they are the team to be in the NFC East. I've said many times, I feel like the Eagles are going to win the division. I think Jalen Hurts will improve enough. I think the offense around him has improved enough. I think the offensive line is incredible. And I think that the defense is going to be a top-notch defense. If Jonathan Gannon can be a top 10 in yards as he was last year, what can he do with guys like Hassan Reddick? What can he do with Brandon Graham coming back? What can he do with James Bradbury being his other corner? Avonte Maddox, I think, is already one hell of a slot corner. And Darius Slay, whose injury doesn't appear to be anything too frightening. So, little issue we had 2 days ago. So I think this defense is going to be pretty damn good. Jordan Davis, obviously, as well. Nakobe Dean. TJ Edwards, a good linebacker a lot of people are sleeping on. I think this defense is going to be a very good defense. I think this offense is going to be pretty damn good. So what does that mean when you add those two things together? The Eagles are going to have a damn good year, and I don't think there's anybody in the division that's better than them. And I know people talk about the Cowboys. For some reason, I don't know what it is. I think it's just the coaching aspect of it, because I think Ron Rivera is a very good football coach. The Washington football team, I think, are going to be a thorn in the side. The Commanders. Now, I have to get used to, just after I got used to the Washington football team, the Commanders, just for some stupid reason, I feel like they're not going to be better than the Eagles. They're not going to win the division, but I just feel like they're going to be a thorn in the side of the Eagles. I don't know why that is, but something tells me we're talking about only two teams way too much. We're talking about the Eagles, and rightfully so, because they're going to win the division. And then we talk about the Cowboys, both because they're the Cowboys. But there's something tells me Dable's going to have a building year in New York. That's going to be a building year in New York. And for whatever reason, the Commanders are a team that I just feel like is going to be a pain in our ass this season. I think the Eagles are going to win. They're going to split their games with them. I think that there's going to be one game where the Eagles just don't have it, and it might be that game. But I think the Eagles are going to win that game with Carson Wentz coming back to the lake. I'll tell you that much. That's the game they're going to win. But I feel like it's going to be a close game, and I feel like the game that they play in Landover, Maryland, they're going to lose that game. I just feel like they lost to Washington, they lost to the Commanders. Like, I think that's the way it's going to go. But LaShawn McCoy talked about how the Eagles are the team to beat, and I agree. But the other thing he got into was the idea that it's all about Jalen Hurts. I mean, you could talk about adding A.J. Brown. You could talk about the offensive line looking like they're going to be one of the best in the NFL. You could talk about how the backups on the offensive line could be starters on so many other teams across the league and all that stuff. You can talk about that till you're blue in the face. But it all comes down to quarterback play. You can talk about how great the defense is going to be. If Jalen Hurts doesn't improve, you're not going to have a wildly improved season from a year ago. It all comes down to the quarterback. Yeah, you can have a game manager quarterback and a great defense, and you know what you can do? You can make the playoffs. Hell, if you have a phenomenal defense and an average quarterback, you can win a Super Bowl. I'm not going to go so far as to say the Eagles are going to have a phenomenal defense, but I think they're going to be pretty damn good. They're going to have an upper echelon defense in the NFL. I think by accident, they're going to be more aggressive than what we had seen last year on a Jonathan Gannon. But it all comes down to quarterback play. How good, look, this team can make the playoffs. This team I expect to make the playoffs. I say they're with the division, I think I expect them to make the playoffs. But whether or not they can win a playoff game, whether or not they can make a deep playoff run is going to come down to the quarterback and whether or not Jalen Hurts has made that improvement. And that was LaShawn McCoy's point a couple of days ago on ESPN, on Wednesday. On ESPN when he was talking about Jalen Hurts' overall improvement. People talk about his work ethic all the time. People talk about work ethic when you have potential. And then people talk about work ethic at the end of your career. Nobody works harder. No, nobody worked harder than that guy. Really set the tone for everybody during his 10 years here. He really set the tone. They talk about work ethic at the start when you're trying to get, reach your potential, whether or not he is paying the rent every day and whether or not he's not doing it. And then you go to the end of the career and everyone's like, this guy no one worked harder, set the precedent for everybody else. I want to get to the point where we're not talking about Jalen Hurts' work ethic for like 10 years. That's the point I want to get at. And that started last year, and now it'll come to fruition hopefully this year, and I believe it will. I think Jalen Hurts will go out there this year and lead this team to the playoffs. I think he'll get them a playoff win. Deep playoff victory, a deep playoff run, that's something I do have to see how the season plays out. But I know they're good enough to do that. It's whether or not the season will, things will fall into place for them as far as the awful intangible of football and really all sports, injury. But I think Jalen Hurts has put in that work in the offseason. I think Jalen Hurts put in that work already with a pretty damn good level of talent. Now he's got to make sure that in the second year with this system, second year under Nick Sirianni, better weapons around him, and, just in general, a year under his belt of being a starting quarterback in the NFL. I think he will take that step forward. And I think we're going to see a quarterback take a big leap on some people's lists where he's a, 25th overall quarterback in the NFL to the guy that can start flirting with a top 10 in the NFL. That's how good I think Jalen Hurts can be just this year. That's the leap forward. This is the leap forward this year that I'm expecting from Jalen Hurts to work himself into the conversation to being a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. And I think it all starts off the field with his work ethic. It gets jump-started again when you talk about the experience that he has now going into this year, not just as a quarterback, but in the same system and the weapons around him. And that doesn't just mean A.J. Brown. That also means his offensive line, which is a huge weapon. That's what I'm expecting. And hearing his head coach talk about how he's going through his progressions faster, he's getting rid of the ball quicker, how he's diagnosing what's in front of him faster, that is exactly what you want to hear about this quarterback going into this season. We talk about it a lot. I talk about it a lot. Like, what do I look for in preseason games? What do I look for in training camp? Stuff like that, where you're supposed to really not be able to tell anything. Can't tell anything from this. Look like you belong for the rookies. And then guys that aren't rookies anymore, look like you're a guy who has learned from your experience. And from all reports and what I have seen from Jalen Hurts, and even looking into that preseason game, seeing him roll out of the pocket, hit Quez Watkins down the sideline, seeing him be able to go through his progressions, seeing him drop a perfect pass to Dallas Goedert for that touchdown, seeing him do stuff like that. Oh, okay. I didn't see a lot of that last year. I saw enough. I didn't see the consistency there. The fact that you saw him come out in the preseason and was perfect, that's only a feather in the cap of the people that are arguing for Jalen Hurts to already sign a long-term deal. That was all that was. We talk about winning practices. Well, then you can win day arguments when it comes to the preseason, when it comes to practices. This is a win. This is a check mark in the win column for the Jalen Hurts crowd. And then I'm sure there'll be moments where the people that check the L column for Jalen Hurts, they'll check some boxes as well this year because he is not going to be perfect. He is still a young quarterback. He's still growing. But I think for the vast majority of the season, we're going to see a guy on a steady uptick throughout this year. Yes, there's going to be bumps. It's not going to be perfect. But I think we're going to see a guy this season that the work pays off. We start talking about how good a quarterback he is and not how hard he works. That's what I think we're going to get from Jalen Hurts this year. Something else that really impressed me. Two more things on this. Something else that really impressed me yesterday about Jalen Hurts. We're always looking for quarterbacks that are looking for more knowledge. All the work these guys do in the film room with their playbook, breaking down other teams, that's all great. Student of the game. You really got to love the game, right? Well, as you know, Jalen Hurts left Alabama. Tua was going to Alabama, and Tua ended up taking his job. Jalen Hurts got benched, and Tua comes in. And the rest is history. Now, Tua is obviously the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. So the two see each other, and they're friends, and they start chopping it up. But apparently, Jalen Hurts texted Tua before the season started last year, and this is wild. The Eagles started their season last year against the Atlanta Falcons. And Jalen Hurts took this opportunity to reach out to his buddy for a Falcons breakdown prior to week 1. This is Jalen Hurts telling the story yesterday during his press conference. He was asked about how many people he talks to, how many quarterbacks he talks to around the league, just to try to have a better understanding of what they do. And he's like, yeah, I text people. I text Tua, for instance.
I talk to those when I need to. You know what I mean? I know I reached out to Tua. They had a joint practice with the Falcons last year. So prior to the game, I reached out to them, gave me some good insight on some things, and told me how he was, kind of seeing their defense and personnel things. And then I actually gave him some insight on the Patriots. I think they played the Patriots early in the season last year. So it's always to be connected with guys around the league, coaches around the league, whoever. So, it's all to help a friend.
There we go. It's a party now. You gotta absolutely love that about your quarterback. Again, practice. They practiced against the Atlanta Falcons. And he was texting them, hey, what do they do? What should I be keeping my eyes out for when we play against them in week 1? Because you had a joint practice against them. Leave no stone unturned. On a much lighter note, Jalen Hurts was asked by our friend Zach Berman of The Athletic yesterday about a segment he did for GQ magazine. And the segment was called Essentials, and it has like his records that he likes to listen to. Cologne, I think, was one of them, and all that other stuff. And he said that he loves talking to his grandma. I had not seen this yet. And Zach Berman asked him about it. He was like, oh, yeah, I text my grandma. She texts me. If I don't text her, I just know that if I think about it, that means she's thinking about it. She's going to text me or call me soon. And sure enough, and he also loves his grandma's cooking. How could you not? So he's shooting this thing for GQ magazine, and he's going through all the different essentials and all that stuff. He's like, oh yeah, I love talking to my grandma. My grandma's incredible. And just then his grandma calls him off the field. Charming. Off the field. Loves grandma. Jalen Hurts and his grandma.
One of my essentials, very important to me, is my FaceTime calls with my grandmother. She calling me right now. Okay. What's up? What you doing? One of my essentials, very important to me, is my FaceTime calls with my grandmother. She calling me right now. Okay. What's up? What you doing? I'm doing this thing with GQ right now. Like GQ magazine. I was gonna call you, but when I asked you what you was doing, you had already beat me to it.
Wait, you want me to hang up and you could call me?
Nah, we on the phone now. But I ain't wanna hold you too much.
Look what I wear. I'm gonna show you what I got on. Let me show you my top. And I still get tan. I don't understand that. I'm trying to figure out how the hell am I still getting a tan when
She
I
not
got
gonna hang up.
long sleeve clothes.
Let me let you go ahead and get back to your business.
Okay, have a good day, Granny. Love you.
Love you too.
Jiminy Christmas. I don't know what the hell's going on with our technology today. It's 100% on me. I take full responsibility because it is. But stuff like that just makes them relatable. Just makes them relatable. Easy guy to root for. I've said it all along. Now I just hope that he's even easier after this season to root for. You know who's easy to root for? Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers. One place, one price, the perfect price. Online at IHateStevenSinger.com. That's IHateStevenSinger.com. If you're looking to get engaged, fellas, if you're looking to buy that push present, check out my man Steven Singer, the other corner of 8th and Walnut. Where you get the perfect price each and every day at Steven Singer Jewelers. So when you walk in there, you don't have to worry about negotiating or haggling or anything like that. All you got to worry about is the beautiful diamond that you want to buy from Steven Singer and his amazing staff of real jewelers that will walk you through the entire process. And most importantly, above all, make you feel comfortable with their style, their delivery, their presentation. And on top of it all, you know you're getting that perfect price so you can just relax and concentrate on what beautiful, dazzling diamond that you want to buy for that special someone in your life. Maybe it's the perfect present. Maybe it's the engagement ring. Maybe it's the push present. Whatever it might be, Steven Singer Jewelers has your back. He's been in the love business in Philadelphia for over 40 years. So do what I do. Head on over to Steven Singer Jewelers. One place, one price. Online at IHateStevenSinger.com. Always fast and free shipping at IHateStevenSinger.com. How about Manscaped? Because, fellas, you want to look good everywhere, right? That's why you got to trust Manscaped. And their Platinum Package 4.0. Manscaped will introduce this, has introduced this, and it's the best and biggest ultimate bundle hygiene yet. It includes a Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, and remember, those come with skin-safe technology that help reduce the risk of nicks. So you can manscape with confidence and comfort. Plus, ultra premium body wash, 2-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, crop preserver, anti-chafing ball deodorant, crop reviver, ball spray toner, anti-chafing boxers, and the Shed travel bag that will help you take care of the goods from Manscaped. Manscaped is the leader in below-the-waist grooming, and now you can trust them with the whole shebang. Join 4 million men worldwide who manscape with confidence and comfort from Manscaped at Manscaped.com, where you can get 20% off at Manscaped.com. 20% off when you use promo code Farzy. That's promo code Farzy at Manscaped.com and free shipping. How about Freestone Farms CBD? FreestoneFarmsCBD.com. Also 20% off when you use promo code Farzy at checkout at FreestoneFarmsCBD.com. You'll absolutely love their strain menu. They have incredible stuff going on there, like their insane tasting tropical Bayox that clocks in at a chart-topping 24.1%, and Super CBD, which is half Hindu, Kush, and 21%. The genetics of these guys are off the charts. They grow all their premium hemp flower in the Garden State with all organic inputs and IPM. There's absolutely nothing synthetic from farm to jar. And after harvest, they carefully preserve all the plant compounds with a perfect 3-month cure. Just one look or smell is enough to let you know it's CBD done right. And that's the perfect product for anyone looking to take a more natural approach to everything that they put in their bodies. That's 20% off with promo code Farzy when you go to Freestone Farms CBD, FreestoneFarmsCBD.com. How about PHL Sports Station, Philadelphia Sports Station, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's PHLSportsStation.com. Ladies and gentlemen, how about Blue Chew? Fellas, you have an issue in the old boudoir? Blue Chew's here to help you out. Discreetly, I might add. How discreet? How about delivered right to your door? So there's no embarrassing trips to the pharmacy. There's no embarrassing trips to the doctor. Oh, no. Delivers right to your home in a discreet package. Blue Chew is a unique online prescription service that delivers the active ingredients of Cialis and Viagra, but in chewable form at a fraction of the cost. And it saves you a lot of embarrassment as well. Here's the Blue Chew process. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days, and it's all done online. Also, Blue Chew's licensed medical providers will help you find the right ingredient and strength for your prescription. If you don't like swallowing pills, no problem here. Blue Chew's tablets are chewable, so it's not just a clever name. Blue Chew's tablets are also made right here in the good old US of A, and they prepare and ship to your house, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy, and once again, more discreet. Here's the deal for our listeners and our viewers. Try Blue Chew free when you use promo code Farzy at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping, and that's BlueChew.com, promo code Farzy, all one word, to receive your first month of Blue Chew free. Let's jump on into the chat check. Before I do that, actually, if you joined us yesterday, you know at this time I asked a little question about my marriage. I asked a question about my wife, saying, hey, babe, 2 nights ago, can you take care of the kitchen? Can you clean up the kitchen? I said, yes, sweetheart. I love you so much, and you're beautiful, by the way. And then she moseyed on to bed. I was watching the Phillies. I get up. I clean the counter. I put the dishes in the sink and clean up the counter and go to bed, do the show, wake up. My wife was leaving for a little business trip she had to take to New York. And she goes, babe, you didn't. By the way, she was sipping. I just want to say this one more time. She was sipping her Americano that I made her. A little cinnamon on top, you know what I'm saying? Because, try to be a barista. And as she's sipping it, she looks at me and she goes, babe, you didn't start the dishwasher? And I said, no. You said clean the kitchen. So I cleaned the counters, and there was like one dish. I put the dish in the sink. I did the counter. The kids' food was still out. My little Tut's food was still out. I cleaned that up. I cleaned the kitchen. What's going on? She goes, you didn't start the dishwasher, though. I go, dishwasher's a separate entity. Now, I remember kind of split in the chat as to whether or not cleaning the kitchen included running the dishwasher. And basically what I took out of it was that I was right. So after the show yesterday, I go into the kitchen, and I'm like, I guess I should run the dishwasher now. There was nothing in the dishwasher. There was a pan, 2 plates, and like 2 glasses. That's it. The dishwasher didn't need to be run. Even if I would have put the 2 dishes I put in the sink in the dishwasher, still not enough. I'm not wasting a whole run of the dishwasher on like 5 items. That's insane. So I'm saying, when the missus said run the dishwasher, there's really nothing to be run. Another point for me, I believe. Now let's go into the chat check. Hold on. I just see this is the first thing I see here. If heaven was human, says she's just checking your pulse. That's a good point. April, it absolutely includes running the dishwasher. It's easier to run it at night. April, I do agree with that. But what do you think of the little factoid? As I move my espresso cup from one end to the other. What do you think of the little factoid? There was nothing in that dishwasher. Well, what are we, kings here? Just running the dishwasher all the live long day? I don't think so. All right. Let's get to the top of this. Kevin, what's going on? Eric Gallagher, what's going on? What's going on? Kind of an ugly win last night, but I'll take it. Ugly? I mean, I like a little small ball, Eric. No. I like it a win. I understand what you're saying, but I mean, I'm looking at that as, maybe a scrappy win. But when you think about it, all you needed was a Kyle Schwarber 450-foot home run, 451-foot home run. Oh, and Aaron Nola pitching a complete game. I was enjoying every second of that. I can take a scrappy offensive performance if I'm watching, first off, if I'm watching Garrett Stubbs be scrappy. If I'm watching Aaron Nola be dominant and I get a monstrous home run from Kyle Schwarber. I'll take that. Dan Schwartz, what's going on? Mally, what's going on? April, hello again. I'm going to ask this question. Because as I said was it Saturday? I believe it was Saturday. No, it wasn't Saturday. It was Wednesday. The smallest crowd at Citizens Bank Park for the year, like 19,000. I'm asking this question with zero judgment. I'm asking this question out of sheer curiosity. I know why I'm not going to games. I don't have time. I don't have time. Why aren't you going to games? I'm sitting at home. I'm watching every game. I'm watching the press conferences. You guys know I played like 5 cuts for you today. Apparently that's what was messing with our feed. PJ, I just saw your text as I keep on ripping off the clips. But I know I'm not going because I don't have time. If that's why you're not going, this is zero judgment. I'm just curious. And I know games are expensive. I feel like games have always been expensive. Like I remember my dad. I remember that his generation, when I was growing up, I remember my friends' dads talking about how expensive games were. Like that's not changing anytime soon, unfortunately, unless you're all like the Atlanta Falcons and you get like $3 nachos, and that's awesome. But I don't see that happening. I don't see that being on the reg. Why aren't you going to games? That's my question. Honest question. Zero judgment, zero snark. Why aren't you going to games? Is my question. Because even last night I'm looking at it and it just didn't seem like there were a lot of people there. Ooh, Mark definitely looks like a Barry Manilow and Miller High Life kind of guy. His name was Nola. He would pitch the shutout. Did a 4-0 victory for the Phillies. All right, keep going. Sorry. Sometimes I just get selfish. I just do things for me. Boop. Wheeler out. Yep. Crappy teams. Kind of worried about him being ready to go. I'm not, for whatever stupid reason, I'm not worried. I think I'm just blind by optimism after last night. Mally, damn, I forgot all about John Lieber, not Jim Lieber, John Lieber. That was, I think about, it wasn't that long ago. John Lieber was your ace. No, it was that long ago. It was 15 years ago. He was your ace. Kevin Millwood had a stool that he had to sit on in the on deck circle because he was so tired. And Jeremy Hellickson was an ace of this team. Phillies are going to make the playoffs this year. And that feels really good to say that with a lot of confidence. Pots and pans, man. Now, after John Lieber, let's be fair here. After John Lieber, guys like Roy Halladay, Cliff Lee, they were pitching here. Roy Oswalt came and pitched here. Cole Hamels helped you win a World Series, obviously. But, yeah, John Lieber kind of takes you back a minute. And did you get chills there when I said Jeremy Hellickson? Because that was the guy the Phillies were always trying to get a better pitcher than. And for like, 3 straight years, he was your ace? One quick memory on Jeremy Hellickson, because it's in my brain. Threw a curveball to Miguel Cabrera in Detroit. They were playing an interleague game. And Cabrera swung over top of the curveball, and as he did it, was so fooled, he just put his thumbs up to Jeremy Hellickson like, hey, good pitch. I think that struck him out. Yeah, ace of spades, man. Still rolling those stats out. Damn right, Dan. Eric Gallagher, that was a bomb by Schwarber. Schwarbomb. Don't mind saying it. Wow, Stubbs, Dan Schwartz, Stubbs remind me of Minshew. If Minshew was a civilized human. Oh, that's great. Wait, who's talking about arm issues with the Mets? With anyway, that's Zack Wheeler. I'm not complaining about Minshew being an animal living in an RV parked around the city. I actually love it. Reminds me of myself. Very nice, Dan. Apparently the story was, if you guys remember, when Davion Taylor was on the show a couple of months back, he mentioned Gardner Minshew living in his van. And that was the first I heard of Gardner Minshew's van. I didn't realize he was essentially like living around the corner or on I picture him living in the parking lot next to the NovaCare complex, moseying on in the NovaCare complex, because this is the story they were telling Dave Spadaro over the weekend, that he would wake up in his van and go into the NovaCare complex, like get a snack, maybe work out, and then go back to his Uncle Rico van. What a life. What a life. Ant-Man is also Giant Man, just saying. Sean, you make a fine point. And I did love Ant-Man. I just find Paul Rudd wildly charming. Wildly charming. And how I look older than him now, and he still looks like he's in Clueless, is beyond me. Buddy T-Mac, anyone else video great? Oh, that's okay. So that's what we were running into with the technical issue, probably because I was ripping off so many clips here. There's just a lot to get to today. And apparently that messed with our feed. How'd that mess, Goozy? Fuji, what's up, Fuji? Jonathan Dill, NFC is a weaker conference. If the Eagles were in the AFC, where would you rank them? Ooh, where would they rank? That's a good question. I'll have to think about that. They might not be top 4, but they might be in their top 6, top 7, maybe. I'd really have to think about that, but that's what jumps to mind. That seems fair without being too negative or too optimistic. Mally, one day Mark will figure out how to work the buttons. You're a patient man. Popeye the Sailor Man, wholeheartedly. Good times. What else do we have? Wait, hold on. You stop it. Jim Gardner's real name isn't Jim Gardner? John Cheesebro, you can't just throw that out there. This is news to me. John saying, I don't know. Jim Grassbeater, what's up, man? Time for Philly games? What's up, Sean? Dan Schwartz, I don't have time to go to games. April, I wish I was able to go to more games. April's doesn't live in the market anymore, unfortunately. Wait a minute. John Cheeseboro, if we don't get an extended Farzy show, I hope the only in living color reruns. Wait. I hope the only in living color reruns Farzy catches are season 5, the one with no involvement from the 11th billion Wayans siblings. Can I watch reruns somewhere of In Living Color? Because as a Saturday Night Live loyalist, In Living Color was the only other sketch comedy show that I embraced. Mad TV, I did not embrace. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Kids in the Hall, I embraced Kids in the Hall. But I was never a Mad TV guy. In Living Color was awesome. Jim Carrey was hilarious. The Wayans brothers, David Allen Greer, awesome. A lot of talent on that show. Farzy, would you trade Dillard to the Cowboys? Yeah, if I'm getting Cowboys picks out of it. Absolutely. Plus, I know I can get in the head of Andre Dillard. You can get in the head of if Andre Dillard is allowing his teammates to get in his own head in training camp, imagine what you could do in a game. How much fun would that be? Boop. Yes, In Living Color still comes on. You know what? And nowadays, yeah, YouTube. Yeah, Sean Gillespie. I was just going to say that. I did find though that on Peacock you can watch all the old Saturday Night Live episodes. Like not all the old. You can watch all the Saturday Night Live episodes. Hulu was missing seasons like 10 through 20 or something crazy, something stupid like that. But Peacock has all the old episodes. So I was watching. I just started listening to Fly on a Wall podcast with Dana Carvey and David Spade. And if you're a Saturday Night Live nerd like me, then you'll love this podcast because it literally is you're fly on the wall listening to them talk about being on Saturday Night Live. They have a different guest on. I just listened to a Rob Schneider one, which is fairly recent. That was really good. Really behind the scenes stuff. It was pretty insane. So I recommend that podcast if you guys are looking for a podcast. But it talked about Il Cantore, which is the sketch with the overly aggressively affectionate Italian waiters. And it's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But I'm sure, yeah, if I can just go back and watch some of the old In Living Color stuff, that'd be pretty good. That's it. That's everybody in the chat. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. I didn't see too many people to confirm how right I was about the dishwasher, but I guess whatever. Wait a minute. Mullet, are you trying to say bellissimo? Bellissimo. Bellissimo. Sorry. Love that sketch. Mullet, me too. It's one of the funniest sketches. That and the Pepper Boy. Those are two of my favorite SNLs. I went back and I watched Chris Farley. I watched Matt Foley. I only found out up until recently my wife had never seen Matt Foley. Never. We were on vacation 3 years ago and me and my buddy were with another family. Me and my buddy I'm like, oh, it was a rainy day, so we're like playing old SNL clips. And I was like, oh, Matt Foley, babe, it's Matt Foley. And she's like, who? And I'm like, it's Matt Foley. And that's apparently what they didn't like it. They didn't like it for whatever reason. That was the chat check, everybody. Let's get into our morning rush. Brought to you by Sky Motorcars, SkyMotorcars.com. Phillies start their series with the Pirates today at 7:05. A guy named Bryce Harper will be back in the lineup for the first time in 2.5 months, I think is what it comes out to. Bottom line is about 52 games without Bryce Harper. He's coming back into the lineup for the Phillies, which is awesome. Very excited about that. 7:05 start time today. Bailey Falter gets the ball for the Phils against Bryce Wilson of the Pirates. Wilson is 2-7 with a 5.74 ERA. Falter 1-3 with a 4.40 ERA. Bailey Falter is coming off his best start as a Philly against the New York Mets. The only game that he actually the only game in that series where he was the ace. Well, he was the ace. He was the only Phillies pitcher to be an ace in that series, is the sentence I'm trying to say out loud. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a great weekend, everybody. Let's go Phillies. And you know what? Eagles finish the preseason strong on Saturday against those Dolphins. Hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Jim Hyden produced the program, did a wonderful job. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show presented by Steven Singer here at the Steven Singer Studios. This is a Buzz Sports and Entertainment production. My name is Mark Farzetta. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take it easy.